How's it going, everybody? Vegeta saying what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball content. If you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. That being said, today what we're going to do is we're going to do another equipment guide. And the reason I want to do this is, I said I was going to do Sun Family next, but I felt like it was probably going to be just a little bit more helpful if we do these for, like, the new characters. And I figured, you know, we'll do this for the new Zenkai just before they come out, since we do kind of know what the Zenkai is going to look at, what the Zenkais are going to look like anyway. So this way, you know, people can kind of maybe farm up a little bit, prepare a little bit, you know, so maybe I'll do these the Monday that they, you know, they let us know in the future, because I do like to take Mondays off anyway. It's just the first day of the week for me at work, and it can usually be pretty tiring. But that being said, I wanted to do this because I felt like just doing the teams alone was a bit vague, I guess, and you know, not everybody might be all that interested because, you know, if you're maining a team, you kind of know what equips you should be running. So I figured it'll be maybe a bit more helpful to do for, like, the quote-unquote new characters. That being said, I also wanted to do this because I am going to try my, like, as soon as I'm done recording this and uploading this, I'm going to bed. So this way I can get up for reset and try and pump out her Zenkai 7 showcase, like, immediately. Like, I just want to do it, like, as soon as possible. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try this out. It'll be something different. If it works out, I'll do it in the future for other new units. But yeah, that's my plan. Without further ado, with editing magic, we'll hop right into it. And yeah. So off the bat, we have the Awakened O Relax Will You, and while I personally don't necessarily like to go for double offensive equips, I do think because this is a pure buff for per girls or androids, you know, but for her you would want to run the for girls, and even I guess if you rolled androids, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because you're only losing out for really just her. And I mean, if you're running launch, I guess it's a big but in reality, you know, the girls is gonna be the one you want to roll. And yeah, I think that alone is pretty much worth it. It's, you know, it's a pretty high pure buff, blast defense at a pretty good number, and then blast attack, you know, it's a double offensive equip, which is nothing to be ashamed of at the end of the day, even though I don't personally like to run double offense if I don't have to. Next up, we've got the Awakened Here I Come, and this applies to, I believe, every rival universe. Yeah. So this is an equip that you really should farm up if you're going to be using rival universe or intend to use them, because it's double offense and double defense. As long as, you know, you roll strike attack on the last slot. Otherwise, it's just like it's a very beefy strike defense as well as blast attack with blast. Like it would be double defense with blast attack. But you know, if you can roll strike attack on the backside, you end up having, again, you end up having a double offense and double defense equipped for every single rival universe in the game. It is a little low on blast attack, but you can roll 20% for strike attack. So especially for her, who's a melee type, this is a very solid equip. Next up, we've got Dr. Gero's computer. Like I said in my androids video, this is probably one of the best equips in the game, and that's just because of how many tags it applies to. Girls, androids, regen, it applies to so many different tags. You can put this on so many different people, and again, there's so many different ways to set it up, because naturally the first roll is you know, it's RNG, but you get strike or blast on that first roll. You get double defense in the middle no matter what at 10%, which isn't bad. You know, 10% for double defenses on one slot, honestly, it's pretty respectable. And then you have 13% on the back end to either offensive stat, again rolled by RNG. So you can have a double offense, double defense equip. You can have a one with astronomically high blast attack. You can have one with astronomically high strike attack. Like it's can work out really, really well. This is, again, it applies to all regen, all girls, all androids. Very solid equip. I 100% think that, well, I don't think you can now because the event's over with. But, you know, when it shows up in the exchange shop, this is definitely an equip to work on. Or if you have a gold slot one, maybe, you know, dedicate some removers to it. Next up, we've got Going Full Out. I believe this also applies to all rival universe. Yep. And basically, what I'll say about this is, again, it's got the pure strike buff, and it is based on per rival universe. So this is kind of going off of the assumption that her Zenkai ability will be purple rival universe. And, you know, this is going off of the assumption you're running her on rival universe. I think if you're running her you know, even if you're running her on girls, it's not a bad option because, you know, you could be running Vados as your green. Like, I'm personally going to be running Vados as my green on girls. So I don't necessarily think this is a bad equip, even in that regard. But, you know, pure strike per rival universe is always very nice. 5%, nothing to sneeze at. And then double defense on top of that. Very solid equip. So this one only applies to units from Universal Survival Saga, but that kind of means it works out for, again, for say people like UI, or for Hudamadikus, for like the Ultimate Gohan. That's the word I'm looking for. Mystic Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, what have you. But yeah, you know, you can see them all here. What's good about this is it's got key recovery, strike defense, and a very good strike defense for that matter. We also talked about, you know, 12% on key recovery, also a really good stat in the last video. But then we've got a really good pure buff here. Pure buff, 12% for range type and 12% for a melee type, depending on whichever one you roll. She is a melee type, so if you do get a really good roll on this, like I have a Z of this equip, and my last slot is a pure buff of like 11%. So 11% for having a melee type, that's insane. Again, for a pure buff, that's astronomical. So again, and I'm pretty sure this is in the shop right now, that or it's in the no, I don't think it's in the Rival Universe whatchamacallit. Yeah, I don't think it's in the Rival Universe mission. I do believe it's in one of the exchange shops though. So this is something you definitely could farm up. Yeah, okay, so I did just double check just because I didn't want to give out false information. Explosive Clash is in the equipment metal shop. So you can take your equipment metals from PvP and you can grind up this equip. Again, I highly recommend it. Really, really strong equip for, again, any of the Universal Survival characters. So, you know, if you run that Mystic Gohan, solid choice. And if you're running UI even, you know, if you're running UI and you get a ranged roll on this, very solid pure buff for him. Yeah, all right. So those are the main equips that I would focus on. There are a couple of honorable mentions that I'm going to kind of go through real quick that I think are going to kind of vary based on what it is. But you know, these are really just like, I guess, kind of like backups if you don't really have any of the other options that we talked about. Actually, except for this one. This one I should really, really mention. But this applies to every melee type in the game. This is Kaioken equip. Because this can work out really, really well. You can either have a double defense with a small little buff to strike attack, or you can have strike defense with a really high strike attack. So I think this is a phenomenal equip just to farm up for every single melee type in the game. And you can farm it up in the, what is it? It's one of the free Zenkais. I believe it is the free Zenkai Vegeta. I will double check that before we move on. Yes, it is in the free Scouter Vegeta's meetings. Well, they're both free, I guess, but the like free one, like the one that you don't have to spend chrono crystals on, the EX one, the yellow one. If you go into his missions, you can farm up this equip, no problem, for every melee unit in the game. So yeah, that's that. Then in terms of honorable mentions, we've got Universe 6 and 7, double offense and health. Nothing, not the best, not the worst. We've got this one right here, Crush Them, which is double offense and strike defense, and it is a pure buff as long as you're with a red or blue, but that is a little circumstantial in my opinion. Then we've got this one right here, another double offense for all purples in the game. I can even sense Goku's ki, strike attack, blast defense, and then blast attack. And then last but not least, we will look at this one, which is the most defensive Saiyan equip in the game. We don't really know how tanky she'll be just yet, so this may actually be really solid for her. I don't know, but I wanted to put it at the end just in case. We've got strike defense, 18%. Then you've got a pure strike defense or blast defense when faced with Saiyans for 15 timer counts, so that's pretty solid considering how heavy Saiyans are in the meta. And then you have health of up to 10%. So yeah, that'll do it for this equip guide. I hope you guys find this helpful because, you know, at the end of the day, I was hoping to at least shine light on, you know, at least a few equips that people could use rather than just targeting 3 exactly specific dead set ones like they kind of do on Game Press. I'm just kind of hoping to give a little bit of variety for those of us who, you know, may not have farmed up every equip along the way. So yeah, that's that. I will see you guys in the next one, which will hopefully be, you know, like around when reset goes. I have a good amount of souls saved up for her, so I should have her most of the way done when she drops. And I think with Ultra Spacetime Rush resetting, I should be able to have her fully soul boosted, no problem. If not, like 1300% or so. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.